Hello there, good to see you again. Hey, watch this. I'm just in the middle of making these fancy headdresses. Look at that. Brilliant for fancy dress parties when you don't have a costume. And believe it or not, it's just cardboard box card and scrunched up newspaper. Now, if you remember, this is where I got up to last time. So, if you want to try it yourself, measure the width of your face and the length of your face. Use the measurements to draw a cross onto some cardboard box card and join the points of your cross to make an oval that's the size of your face. Then draw your fancy headdress design. Scrunch up bits of newspaper to add 3D detail, and you can do as much or as little detail as you like. Then just slop on some PVA glue mixed in equal parts with water and cover it in tissue paper and let the whole thing dry. Now, to paint your fancy headdress, use poster or acrylic paint and use nice bright colours. I think I'm going to start with some red on that flower there. Just slop it on. Oh, look at that. Brilliant, isn't it? And I'm just going to paint the petals of the flower a nice bright red. And you can take a lot more time doing it. I'm doing it really quickly now to show you. And then just mix in some streaks of white in the middle of the petals there, just to make them look pink. Nice petally texture there. And for the hat itself, I think we'll go green on the hat. Clown's hat. It goes there. And again, just slopping it on, just to give you the idea. Nice bright green hat. And here's a good trick. How about nice bright orange for the hair? But I'm just doing the orange on those top bits there, like that. And a good idea is to just plop some red down inside the curls to make them slightly darker on the inside. And when you've painted it all, leave it to dry. And when it's dry, you'll have something that looks like this. Look at that. Now you need to make a headband so that you can actually wear your headdress. To do this, cut 2 strips of card about 1.5 times the length and about 1.5 times the width of a ruler. So 2 lengths, same size. Cereal box card is perfect for this, and the idea is to place them on either side of your headdress and just place them either side of the hole there and just use a nice strong glue and glue them into place. Just going to move that off there, put the glue on there, and then pop it on. And to really strengthen it up, just put a couple of pieces of tape across. I'll just put one to show you. And again, on the other side, nice strong glue in there. And on it goes with some tape to hold it firmly in place. And again, you use plenty of tape for that and make it really strong. And when they're nice and secure, place the headdress on the front of your face like this, and then pull those bands around the back of your head until they meet. See there? Around the back there like that. Overlap them and just pull them tightly to fit your head snugly, and then holding them in place very carefully to the size of your head, tape them together. Again, use plenty of tape. I'm just going to do it quickly here, and if there's any excess card, you can just snip that off. And when the band is secure, you are ready to party. And you know, you don't have to just do designs like this one with silly hair. You can do designs with silly ears instead. How about this? Look at this. Once you've got your face size and the shape, you can draw a hat like a pixie hat, and then on either side, instead of the silly hair, just draw a pair of big silly ears. And again, make sure that the ears join up with the hat and come all the way down the sides of the face. Then cut this out and add some 3D newspaper padding, and you'll have something that looks like that. Again, use plenty of tape, and when this has been covered in a layer of tissue and glue mix, then painted, it'll look like this. Look at that, and don't forget to attach a card on the back with lots of tape, and then you're ready to party as a pixie. And you can use this method to make a lot of fancy headdress designs. How about going as the Queen? Now this is just a crown and hair, and you can put some 3D jewels on and try using gold paint on this one. Or what about a policeman with big ears? Or how about going as a hippie chick? Now this one has got long hair on it, so it needs a bigger piece of card to start off with. Try it yourself. Design your own fancy headdress. Come on, here we go. Here you go. There you go. This gives me an idea for a big art attack. Right. Let's see. Yes. Perfect. Yes. Do you know what? I've been looking through my Art Attack scrapbook again, and as usual, it's full of lots more of your fantastic art attacks. Take a look at these. Now, I like the way Ruby Short has stuck down a coloured tissue paper background and then printed animals on top. And the cotton wool tails on the bunnies really finish it off. Jack Woolley's done this fantastic factory skyline by cutting out paper silhouettes. And by sticking darker colours at the front and paler at the back, it's got a real sense of distance. Oh, look at it, it's freezing, isn't it? You see, what Daniel Hyde has done here is he's used small, gentle brush strokes to pick out his picture, and the white paper underneath has done the snow for him. And if you look closely, you'll see how Richard Jepson has built his house out of twigs.
To make my picture, I made the design on paper first. Then I built up a collage with real sticks and twigs.
Yes. What brilliant twig picture. And do you know what? It's inspired me to come up with my own art attack using sticks. Now take a look at this lot. What do they look like to you? Sticks. Well, I'll tell you what I think. I think this one looks like a horse. See that? You've got the body there, and you've got the legs, and you've got the tail, and you've even got the horse's head like that. Okay, let's try another one. What about this one here? What do you think that looks like? I think that looks like a stick insect. You've got the legs, and you've got the head, and sort of a pair of antennae up here. Don't worry, I haven't gone mad. The idea is to collect some old dry sticks and twigs, and it's great fun to try and imagine what creature they could become if you painted them. Now, long, thin or spindly creatures obviously are best for this. First, take your chosen stick and then just draw around it onto a nice big piece of paper, just going all the way around your stick like that. You could use newspaper for this. Then decide what creature you want to turn your stick into. Now, this one's easy, isn't it? It's going to be a snake. So just draw on a basic design. I'm going to do the eye there, and then a mouth going around like that. It doesn't have to be realistic or anything, just nice and bold. There's a mouth, and maybe a nostril in there. And then create a pattern round the stick. And again, doesn't have to be too realistic, just nice bold pattern like that, and maybe that there like that. And then if you paint your stick white using poster or acrylic paint, you can copy the design onto the stick, and painting the stick helps the pen show up. So I'm just going to do the eye in there, and then do that line round there like that, and another line under there, and just do these bands across just to show you. And again, just copy the design off your paper. I'm using a permanent marker for this because it shows up well on the stick. And there again. And when you've copied all of the design, you can finish it off. Paint your stick using poster or acrylic paint. Nice bright colours. I'm just going to do one band in here like that to show you. And I'm using earthy colours for this. They work very well. And maybe a darker colour on that band there. And you continue all the way to the end of your animal or your creature. And when you're finished, you will have something that looks like that. Isn't that fantastic? I think this looks like a real piece of ancient tribal art. Let's see what we've got. There's the face, and there's a real bold pattern all the way along using good earthy colours to the tip. Good, isn't it? And great fun to do. All you have to do is choose a stick, see what creature it reminds you of, and then design and paint it. What do you think of this? There's my stag, complete with antlers, and I think that looks brilliant stood up as a piece of art anywhere around the house. Or what about this one? This is a more spindly stick. This is my giraffe. There he is. It's a long stick with 4 spindly twigs at the end. And again, stand him up and he looks absolutely brilliant. Design an animal and paint a stick. Try it yourself. To make your own stick creature, start by collecting some dry twigs and choose one that reminds you of an animal or insect. Draw a design for your stick animal on paper first, then paint the stick white and copy the design onto it. Finally, paint it in bold, bright colours to get your own stick creature or insect. And that's it for today. Have fun with your own art attacks. And don't forget, you don't need to be a great artist to art attack. And I'll see you next week on CITV for another art attack twice weekly. Ta-ra!